So when is the right time to quit your federal job? Is today the day? Is it when the workload becomes unbearable? Your stress level rockets. The fear of the unknown increases. Thousands of federal workers are feeling the pressure to quit, to resign, to retire, just to get out of there. They don't want you in the office anymore. That's what it feels like. And not everybody is given the opportunity to get an incentive, to get a buyout, or to get the deferred resignation program. A lot of people would love it, but it's not offered to them. Now, for some perspective, on an average year, 100,000 federal workers leave the government. This year, that number will be over 300,000. So that's a 3x, 3 times as many people will end up leaving. With less people means that there's more work for everyone around. So you and whatever coworkers manage to survive, everyone has more work on their plate. And leadership changed in a lot of offices. So what is your leader like? Is it an egotistical leader? Is it a leader with a fragile ego that you have to walk around on eggshells? Is it one of those type of leaders? People end up leaving their job more often than not. First, it's work culture, but also the leadership. They have an impact on your day-to-day operations. So if it's a toxic leader, it's just not going to work out in the long term if you want to keep your mental sanity. So the question is, when? When can you leave? And I would tell you, it's one of two things. Number one, you leave when you have a steady stream of revenue. This could be a military pension, disability payment, rental income. It doesn't really matter what the revenue is, but you need to have money coming in every month to keep food in your belly and a roof over your head. If you could do that, you have a little bit more peace of mind. If you have kids or dependents, that's another story. Number two is you leave once you have another job. I'm not talking about just getting a job offer. I'm talking about accepting that job offer, getting it signed, and having a start date. You need and ideally, if you can, start onboarding. If it's possible, ask them, hey, can I start onboarding? So that's what it means to have another job. You do not just want to quit and not have a plan, because more often than not, that ends up with terrible results. So if you don't meet one of those two circumstances, don't quit unless you plan on somebody taking care of you. If you can go back to family, family's going to open their door and say, hey, come on in. The couch is empty. Go ahead and put your bags by the couch. You can just surf on the couch for the next few months. If you have somebody like that, or maybe you have a high earning spouse or, significant other, and they're willing to take care of you. That's the only other option. Outside of that, you need to have one of those two things, either steady revenue coming in every month or actually have another job. You have to remember that we're in a challenging job market situation right now, and not everybody looks favorably at federal workers. If you have that on your resume, they're going to look at it. The political climate's a little bit different this year. So take that into consideration. You need to start applying while you have a job. So let's say you're a federal worker right now. Every day, you should be applying and leverage AI. Everyone out there who's having success, some component of their strategy includes artificial intelligence. Use ChatGPT or one of the other free AI tools out there. What I would do is I would go ahead and take your performance reviews and feed your performance reviews into AI, feed it your current resume, and have AI help you as an assistant to identify companies in your area that could be a good fit. And furthermore, positions inside of that company. Do that. Have AI improve your resume. Put the final human touches on it, but have AI there doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And then you have to ask yourself, what type of results are you getting? How many interview requests have been coming in? How many job offers have you been receiving? If you haven't been receiving any of them, then you need to make adjustments in your resume and in your strategy. Until that point, I would say, no, you're not ready to quit. Look at it on a monthly basis. You can look at it on a quarterly basis. Every 3 months, what are your stats? Keep track of it. Use Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel and keep track of what you're doing and what your goal is. There have been a lot of mixed results this year when it comes to federal workers leaving the workforce. You have some people that were able to secure high-paying jobs and they're doing fine. Then you have other people that it's been a nightmare for. So the one case that I know direct experience with is a lady named, let's say, Elizabeth. Elizabeth's her name. She worked in Chicago, EPA, right? In January, she started searching for a job because she knew the EPA would be one of the federal agencies that would be targeted for downsizing. She knew that just because she paid attention to the news. You know, I mean, you don't need to be an insider to understand that information. President Trump's coming in, EPA is going out, right? Same thing with the education department. So she started her search in January. In April, she had a job offer from Deloitte. So she was working for the EPA in Chicago. She moved to Washington, D.C. In DC now, she's working for Deloitte. Her salary went up. So I think she was making like around 135, 140,000. She was a GS-14 in Chicago. So her salary went up to 160. So she took like a 20, 25K a year pay bump. Now, yeah, she's not earning a pension anymore, but she already did her 5 years in the federal government. I think she had a total of 12 years. So she's fully vested in a government pension. So she doesn't have to worry about that. And the thing about it is, the government's always going to be there. So if you need to go to the private sector for 3 to 5 years and then come back later, make sure you have all your important documents, your SF-50, your TSP information, your performance evaluations. Have those documents saved. You can put them in the cloud. Google offers the cloud. Save your documents, print them out, and you could try to come back into the government at a later date. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you fail to plan, you're going to have a harder time at it. So there's another situation I heard of in DC where an individual just quit. I think they're working for the CFPB or something like that. They quit their job without a plan. They had about 3 months of savings. And because she was in the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia, she thought it would be easy to leverage her IT skills to get a job, but it turns out it wasn't easy. There was a lot of ghosting. There was a lot of people that weren't, they weren't giving her the feedback. So she got discouraged. She had to move out of her apartment. She had to move in with a friend. And I think even to this day, it's been probably about 5 or 6 months now, she still doesn't have a job. So that just goes to show you that if you don't plan for it, it can end up bad really quick. At the end of the day, you have to do what is in your best interest, what is in your family's best interest. Now, in addition to this, we have the president now wanting to surge federal hiring. Only in certain agencies, though, not across the entire federal government. And part of the plan is to go ahead and lower some standards just a little bit. So if you want to hear that plan, I want you to check this video out next. Stay updated by signing up to the free newsletter down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.